Hello lads, since there are more than 5,000 mods for us to use in order to upgrade our gameplay a little, for those who doesn't want to waste their time searching for any interesting ones, today I'm gonna show you those mods that might drive your attention, or just worth knowing about. Before we start, I need to mention about existence of unofficial mod integration called Mint by those who use it. This one is not complicated to set up. Might as well just search for a YouTube video on how to do that. It will not take more than 5 minutes of your life. But the benefit of using Mint is incredible. It allows you to use any number of mods without a limit compared to official in-game mod integration. Moreover, any approved or sandbox mods that are not required by all will work even if you just joined a random lobby. Still, there are some mods that only work if you're the host, but I will tell you which of them really are. Before we start, most of the mods need ModHub to work, but ModHub has a problem. If you don't want to scroll down every time searching for the one mod you want to use now, there is a better looking alternative called Unified UI. That mod allows you to fix any good mod you are using the most at the top of the menu for a quicker access. It also replaces ModHub entirely so that anything that works with ModHub will work with Unified UI perfectly well. Even if you don't trust that mod, by using both mods will also work just fine. I'll start from those mods that are a must-have and should be in the base game. We have plenty of them, starting from some obvious ones. Shoutboard legs mod allows us to see our legs every time. This is just a straight up download. The next one is a approved mod called Advanced Darkness. The only usage of this mod that I want to promote is to make caves pitch black, making experience more realistic. The next approved mod that is a great addition to Advanced Darkness is 5 times the range flashlight. There are many mods that provide similar effects, but one of them is particularly interesting since even its name file says no modular storage flashlight. That is kind of reasonable since we actually have something so complex like always active electromagnetic field around our armor that just denies or massively reduces the speed of any kinetic objects hitting our bodies, so why not to have an actually useful flashlight? Do you even like packing all your ammunition slot with flares? You know how much they weigh, right? Next is Dance Move Switcher-like mod, since original one from the creator of approved Dancer mod has hidden the verified version. I found the one that will work in any lobby regardless of whether players have that mod or don't. You can bind a keyboard button to activate particular dance move that can make for some silly situation, for example, considering it displays the dance move for every player's a must-have one. The next one is called Red Locked Class Icon. It shows you whether the server allows class duplication with a retextured model in the class field in the server list. Must have one, unless you don't care, as I do. The following mod is unique since it changes the host server language setting to a country region code and allows you to block servers from chosen regions. It might become very helpful if you have been experiencing unstable connection from particular region, in my example it's Russia, since it is rather close to where I live. Must have one due to the ability to know how far the host is by seeing the country code instead of language setting. The next one might come handy for those who are constantly selling minerals. This mod allows you to choose the exact amount of how much to sell or buy. Absolutely compatible with all mods that add any new item to the mineral trade menu tested. Might as well just download. The next one adds a list of unique status effect icons that are not in the base game. Might be helpful. The following mod with the same effect is called Status Effect Duration Indicator. Any status effect that is not permanent and appears at the bottom of your screen now displays when you should expect this effect to disappear. It even replaces the mod that shows Iron Will perk duration. I must have one, to be honest. Should be in the base game. Now I will show you the mods that are associated with weapons and core gameplay adjustment. The first one is a Better Lock Indicator. This one replaces the color of 3 or more locks that are on the same target. Quality of life mod for explosive chemical rounds users could be in the base game. Consider trying. The next one is very useful. I would say an absolute must-have during salvage missions. It is called better visibility uplink. This one could save you from some damage from swarmers, for example. I don't know why original one is so big in the base game. I'll repeat, an absolute must-have. Trust me, this one doing wonders for you. The next one is called dynamic cylinder swap. This is a must-have as well, since it adds additional models to the Bulldog magazine to now display a realistic cylinder with 3 bullets for elephant rounds overclock or 6 bullets with a 6-shooter overclock as well. Must be in the base game. The next one is called overcharger indicator for a coil gun secondary. It will show you exact base damage you will do as well as show you when to stop. It is used with the relative coil gun upgrade called overcharger. Why not? Just download it. Quality of life, man. The next one is called Focus Shot Aim Downside for M1000. This mod makes you aim your rifle in the center of your screen, allowing to disable crosshair when focusing if that option is used. While this mod is great by having neon band weapon framework, neon lights will only glow when focus shot is ready. It seems like that mod doesn't work sometimes, yet restarting always helps. The last one is called Darker Sludge Color. I find this mod to be great since sludge color is too bright for me. Good pick for those having a darker color theme experience. Honorable mention, this mod is called Real Weapon Stats. It will change how coil gun, Nuke 17 pistols and minigun ammunition is displayed, by changing the number to how much exactly can be fired. It is reduced in half for minigun and Nuke 17s, and change accordingly to coil guns used upgrades, considering all upgrades that allow you to use a fraction of your ammo. For some reason this mod doesn't work for me. Could be the change since Season 5 came. It worked before, but since I disabled ammo count in my HUD, I can't really see the difference. Still, it is worth trying. Very helpful with coil gun ammo management. The next block is mods that show its effects in the terminal by pressing tab. Starting with an absolute must-have called Show Dotty's Head. The head will appear in your terminal screen. No need for searching in the darkness. Absolute must-have. Must be in the base game. Others are kind of optional, but belong to here since they have been uploaded relatively recently. Most of you never heard of them. So, one that allows you to see enemies in the terminal. The next one to see unique things like mineral chunks and cargo crates. And the last one is kind of worthless. Nonetheless, it will show you all secondaries after you finish the main objective. Why not? Think of yourself like a mission control. The next ones are about cosmetics. The only benefit of those are that they are not client-side. That means their effects are seen for absolutely everyone. Starting with well-known vanity restrictions remover, this one adds all paint jobs for every armor and weapons, as well as allows you to use every front pickaxe parts. Just don't mind minerals with the hammer, please. It doesn't make any sense. The next one is a approved mod called Cosmetics Restrictions Eraser. It adds for every class specific armor paint job 3 copies for other classes to use. Duplication starts instantly for those paint jobs that you can get from all seasonal passes. It adds every other class armor in the shop to be bought for every other class. It means you can gear up like a scout while being a driller, for example. It is worth saying that by downloading that mod, you will need to get nearly twice as much Lost Gears events due to every paint job you can get from Lost Packs is duplicated 3 times. But as far as I know, the monochromic paint job is seasonal, so you can get all of them right away, unless you haven't gotten it from Season 3 pass. Additionally, you can just cheat them by using sandbox utility by spawning Lost Packs as much as you need. The next one is not tested yet. It is called
Lederhosen, unrestricted paint jobs.
Hell yeah. Well, it removes gloves in first person when you're using Oktoberfest gear. Why not? Could be good. The next one is called Skin Transfer to Class Traversal Tools. It works like that. First traversal tool gets any paint job your primary is using, and second utility tool gets any paint job your secondary is using. Very cool mod, worth trying. The next one is called Doretta's Drills for Drillers Drills. This one remodels your drills to what Doretta has, but it seems like any paint job mods affecting drills will never change yellow drilled parts. Still, unique and good looking mod. The next one is called Give Gunner His Cigar. It adds a cigar motor to every gunner armor. Make sure not to use any helmets covering that area, since the cigar will still be visible, yet it is only client side. The last one is called Metallic Relic. It makes the golden part of the relative framework appear grey. Client side, obviously. Other mods are rather optional, but you may find them rather helpful. The first one to talk about is called Build Inspector. It allows you to see every upgrade of every dwarf in your lobby in the Mod Hub or Unified UI mods menu. Very powerful to suggest build-specific operation like breeding volatile bullets bulldog or conductive thermals. Absolutely must have. Next two works fine together. First one is called Status Effect Number. This one adds additional bar on top of bug's HP, telling you exactly how much conductive thermal status effect the bug currently has. The following one is called Temperature Numbers. This mod shows two things: the amount of fire or cold damage needed to ignite or freeze any creature, as well as current number of that relative damage type current enemy has. Very useful for Ice Spear Dreadnought Freeze Shot. You can make a macros with the help of that mod, since timings are really insane. The next one of the same category is called Health Number. It will show you exact amount of HP left, according to damage resistance value of your difficulty. Works with previous two as well. More HP bars. This mod adds HP bar to nearly any plant type enemies that can damage you. Not tested. The next one is Barrage Factor Range Indicator. It shows you the area where you can get damage from its bombs. The next one is useful for those who are playing difficulties with this unused enemy. This mod is called Improved Fire Bomber Projectile Visibility, since those deal a lot of damage and nearly impossible to see during swarms, an absolute must-have. The next one is called Enemy Count Monitor, and it shows the number of enemies at the top of your screen. Strangely verified. The next one is called Live Mission Stat Tracker Plus. It shows you the amount of your kills and downs, can be moved whenever you like in your screen. The next one is called Projectile Prediction Line, default Z. You can press the button to create a projectile trajectory when it's necessary. The next one is called Drill Vetor Health. It simply shows you the time between gems of drill vetor parts. The next one needs testing. It is called Display Events, and it should in practice show you icons of rare collectibles in the upper left corner of your screen. The next one is called Enemy Wave Timer. It will show you exact time between swarms as an additional HUD element in your screen. The next one is unique. It is called Boss Camera. It shows one of the bosses where it is as an additional HUD element. Surprising one, honestly. The next one is called Simple Mission Control UI. It disables mission control dialog box to a movable subtitles. You can bring them out of your screen. You could experience some crashes while joining lobbies with that mod, but I think it was just due to my friend having more than 100 of mods, to be honest. The next one is an audio mod that deletes sound reduction whenever mission control is talking. It is called No Mission Control Ducking. Worth trying. The next one is called low poly model enemies. It allows your CPU to be able to withstand twice as much active bugs without lagging, when used on difficulties that adds hundreds of active bugs. The next one is customizable HUD plus crosshair. This mod allows you to move around your HUD elements to whenever you want, even out of your screen. Mind that you can always disable crosshair being in the spacerig. The next one is called health and shield numbers. It will show you exact number of relative stats in the fixed location of your screen. The next one is called mission timer. This creates a movable timer that shows exact time of your mission after joining the server, compared to total time of the mission in the escape menu. The next one is called damage meter or friendly fire meter. This will show you exact amount of total damage you dealt on bugs. Unless you're the host, in this way everyone will see the same stat of every teammate currently in the lobby. Don't know much about friendly fire meter? Needs testing. The next one is called modify plus stat track. This mod allows you to create a prompt message when anybody joins the lobby to show every stat you choose to display, like player's ping, promoted times for each class, class level, and so on. After the mission ends, it will display total damage dealt for each teammate. The following part is all about mods that work in spacerig. Starting with spacerig hotkeys, as well as DRG lib mod that allows you to bind buttons to use every terminal on the spacerig, this particular mod allows you to do stuff I never seen anybody performed. After ordering 2 or 4 beers, if you take the first one, you can actually order another beer, and as soon as Lloyd plays the animation serving first mug, you're pressing the bar button several times in order for him to stop serving beers. Because otherwise, Lloyd will continue serving chosen beer type and match together several beers that are very hard to dispose of. Additionally, a very powerful mod to cancel anybody ordering pointy-eared leaf lover specials by pressing bar button several times. The next one is sadly required by all. This approved mod allows you to change the price and performance level requirements to ordering leaf lover special to the mere infinity. Sadly, this one is only client-side. Even if you're the host, this mod will not work for those who doesn't have it installed. Personal preference. The next one was a sandbox before, but now it is only approved. It is called All Unused Beers Available. It adds every beer, bringing back all unused ones. My personal favorite is Bronzehead Bitter, with the unique effect to punch the barrels with such a force it flies across the whole space rig, smoking. Yes, don't punch one barrel too much times, since every time you do so, you're creating an additional smoking visual effect that can ruin your CPU consumption. The next one is a approved mod called Aichi's Beer Selector. It is simple by being the host or in a lobby where host doesn't have this mod, will allow you to choose between every today's special beers to order. Considering restarting lobby changes your today's special beer type to any, this is a good quality of life mod. Yet, it is worth to mention that beer icon on the tablet in the bar is only visible for those who have this mod installed. But personal favorite. The next one is an approved mod called Seasonal Space Rig. This one allows you to choose between all seasonal space rigs models currently in the game. Even more, it allows you to merge several space rig models at the same time. Sadly, it doesn't affect Prop Hunt minigame. Change your date instead. Needs testing. This mod is host special, but everyone will see the effect. The next one is called Disable Seasonal Music Event. It will turn off any seasonal events sounds like during Halloween or anniversary. Very useful if you don't like those. The next one is called Fast Forging Continued. This mod disables the animation of forging matrix cores. particularly saving you minutes if forged more than 5 at the same time. A must-have. The next one is called Barbobble Gnome Chopsky. This one replaces the dwarf model to the garden-like gnome. Good replacement. The next one is called Gang Dice, and it replaces Dropwood Dice model with Gang Seeds. The best one by far, personal favorite. The next part of the mod list is all about very unique mods that adds very unique changes to the base game. Starting with the only role-playing mods that we have, as Season 5 Shoutboard and Shout Framework. Both verified and approved versions share similarity in how they perform. Both allow you to bind any key to say any dwarf line from the chosen pool of shouts whenever you like, but the effect of those mods will only appear for those who either have this mod installed you're using to say anything, or are clients in your server. But verified version is a bit different, since it allows you to bind specific voice line from the pool of shouts, but you have a 5-second cooldown to say the next one, as well as an access to Shout Framework special pool of voice lines that are produced during drop pod small talk when mission starts. But if you somehow got an access to private Season 4 Shoutboard, everything becomes different. By saying anything, everyone in the server will hear you regardless of whether they have the mod installed or not, as well as whether you're the host or not. It is worth saying that other mods that change or add voice lines to already existing shout pools, like Profanity Booster or Dwarf Swearing Restored, as well as consistent mushroom ping, are all client-side no matter what. Others would only hear a random voice line instead from the chosen pool. Those mods add a voice line in. The next one is a must-have. It is called No Shout Box, and it disables dialog box whenever you're saying anything or anyone is saying anything. The next approved mod is called Mule, available in Refinery or Point Extraction. This is by far the best one to play deep dice with, since you can actually deposit anything that you got after the button is pressed while waiting for the drop pod. Please, make sure you wait for Molly, since the drop pod doors are always open. Don't make the management mad about giving you that opportunity. Otherwise, makes a Quark missions twice as faster. It is not recommended unless you're playing deep dives. The next one is an approved mod that is called More Secondary Objectives. In the Mod Hub or Unified UI's mods menus, you can select exact secondaries you want to have, up to all existing ones. Very game-changing experience. The next mod is called Mission Selector. That is a sandbox and allows you to choose exact mission seed to replay, or to play another random deep dive as you wish. Host special, of course. Still, I want to tell you that during version 3.4.3.5.5.1.1 of that mod, during Season 4, you had an access to a very strange Easter egg kind of elite deep dive called Natural Hell in the Magma Core biome by choosing elite deep dive seed being -666. The next sandbox mod is called All Campaigns Available. What it does is it adds every limited time cosmetics that are no longer available to get without cheating the save file using a hex editor or something, as well as every assignments from Season 1 to 4. You can do that and, for example, read the description of all the assignments. The next sandbox one is called Beer Resource for Trade, number 4 I mean. This adds additional page in your mineral trade menu, allowing you to buy and sell beer resources, a good replacement for all 4 mods, adding each beer resource for purchase separately. The next sandbox one is called Seasonal Challenges Expanded. This mod adds 2 random challenges for each seasonal pass. The next sandbox one is called All Upgrades Available. What this mod does is it allows you to decide for every weapon and traversal tool what upgrades and overclocks to be used, becoming possible to use all of them at the same time. Works if you're the host, breaks if you join the random lobby with host that doesn't have this mod installed. Truly unique experience. The next approved mod is called Vanilla Weapon Adjustments, and what it does is insane. It changes how weapon upgrades work, with the idea behind being making every ORC and every base weapon great on hazards like hazard 5x2 up to LX2 or hazard 9x2. The most unique change is how explosive chemical rounds work. Instead of 3 locks, it requires only 1 to explode, but with less damage. This mod will work after joining the mission regardless of whether the host has it or not. Still, your teammates need this mod installed to have its effects. Truly a masterpiece mod, absolute rebalance. The next approved mod is called Car Class Reborn for each class. This mod allows you to use every weapon or utility tool in every slot, as well as taking any build you wish for those weapons or traversal tools. Very unique experience potential. The next approved mod is called Cave Resources. What this does is unbelievable. It adds an additional HUD element in your screen to show you exactly how much resources are not mined yet. Unfortunately, this will not work for mineral chunks as they're not mineable, kind of. Truly the greatest mod for mighty dirt diggers, but is not recommended since true mighty dirt diggers don't need this mod to leave no minerals behind in record time. The next approved is called Hox Iron Restoration. Since it adds additional cave generation rules, it is required by all. And what it does is insane. It adds Hox Iron unused mineral in every egg hunt, mining expedition and point extraction missions types, granting whoever deposits this resource with experience and credits at the end. Host special, since host must have one. Will show nothing for clients who doesn't have this mod, guessing it is a desync problem, yet have never tested that. The next verified mod is called Tutorial Biome Unlocker. After deciding a mission type by pressing T button, you will change your mission biome to Shallow Grotta, the tutorial biome. Unique experience. The next one is also very unique. This approved mod is called Take Me Home, and it allows you to bring any mineral chunk with you inside the drop pod at the end of the mission, for it to appear in the mission completion screen, for it to then appear in the drop pod in the spacerig for you to grab and throw it, as well as bringing that victory mineral chunk with you to the next mission, unless you disband the lobby of course, for it to fly to the next mission with you in the drop pod, in that drop pod. Host required, haven't tested if it is seen for every clients, but it worked just fine. The next one is a verified mod called Radio Voice, and it allows you to decide at what distance from you your teammates who are saying anything will be heard in your head as a radio-like effect voice line, unless you turn that option off. The next one is approved but questionable as to use it or not. It disables terrain to be covered in hot magma on explosion. The next approved mod is called Nadosite Spawns are Shockers, and it makes Nadosite breeders spawn shockers instead of jellies. Simple. The next approved mod is called Elimination with Waves, and after spawning a dreadnought, this mod allows regular swarms to spawn. Pretty realistic as for me, worth trying at least once. The next approved mod is called Sabotage with Swarms. This one does the same thing, but for the caretaker fight instead. Considering how loud that thing is, pretty realistic, worth trying at least once. The next approved mod is questionable whether to use it or not. It is called Jet Boots Never Overheated, and it changes the jet boots overheating time from 20 seconds to nearly 1 second. Why not? The next approved one is a cheat mod basically. It is called Drill Any Terrain and allows you to dig minerals with drills and collect them. Unique, that's why it is here. The next sandbox mod is called New Passive Perk Slot, and you can have additional slot to use friendly perk if you're concerned about brain dead players. Works all the time, that's why it is the only option to reduce friendly fire damage without being the host. The next sandbox mod is called Resource Customizer, and it allows you to add every resource type to a mission. Cool to play around once and forget about it. The next approved mod is called 100% Elite Enemy Chance, and it makes every enemy with relative warning during mission to appear elite only. You thought Hazard 5 Plus was any vanilla? Yes, it wasn't. But this one is the closest one. Host special, of course. The next approved one is called Spiraling Drillivator. It makes Drillivator go in spirals, but not straight down. Why not? Interesting mod. Host special, of course. The next one is called Non-Linear Escort. It makes cave room segments to spawn not in a straight line. Pretty realistic, host special, of course. The next approved mod is called Explode Plague Terrain, and by exploding or mining the terrain with rockbox infection on it, you will clean that rockbox region, causing infected bugs to spawn, just as regular farming cleaning procedures would do. Must be in the base game. The next sandbox mod is called something in Chinese, probably, /clone. What this does is it allows you to activate a pointer in the middle of your screen by pressing / or question mark button. For you to then aim on any object and by pressing delete button to delete it entirely, or by pressing comma button to copy it, for you to then spam it or clone it to whatever you aim by pressing the dot button. This mod allows you to see how game calls every object in the game's files. This is quite nice, since the next sandbox mod, called Sandbox Utility, can be used to place those objects, which names you already know, wherever you want, changing its shape or height relative to the ground. Sandbox Utility, on the other hand, allows you to spawn every existing enemy in the game, or just spawn regular swarm whenever you want. A masterpiece mod, truly masterpiece mod. The next two are custom difficulties, first and second version. Apart from the first version of the mod, that is official and approved, second can be only used with mint. But it allows you to play on Hazard 5 Plus modifiers using any custom difficulties, as well as disabling or adding warnings, modifying how much nitro should spawn in the caves, what types of enemies can spawn, changes certain bugs' speed or health stats, changing certain bugs' textures, even that, adding names to them appearing as both health bar. Really a masterpiece mod that can bring any player to the game after seeing everything, because with that mod everything becomes just a little part of actually everything. The last verified mod that I highly suggest trying is Miracle Custom Soundtrack. To use that mod properly, you must use mint as well, as final versions were uploaded only for that system. Just scroll to Miracle Mod Manager and Miracle Custom Soundtrack mods, and then press version button that should say latest. Then personally choose the latest version that is written in numbers. This mod allows you to use any soundtrack that you upload in the mod folder on your PC in MP4 format only. Just change MP3 format to MP4 format. For me, only MP4 format works for some reason. And in the lobby, find Miracle Mod Terminal to assign soundtrack to play whenever you decide. You can change swarm, escape or machine event music with whenever you have chosen, as well as spacerig, memorial hall or cave ambient music. You need to know that by changing jukebox soundtracks, you can still hear those you haven't changed to match for everyone else in the lobby to hear as the same. A masterpiece mod. It can bring back many players. No need to manually change background music when you can have your own list being changed automatically during the mission. Miracle, thanks for giving out the latest updates. The last part of this mod showcase consists of some funny mods I have found. Apart from farting bulk detonators and loot bugs everyone knows about, those are usually hard to find unless you search for them directly. I'll start with visual mods that changes mission result screen and players icons. As for me, both Diggy player icons, mission control in agony, as well as mission status rock and stone are by far the best ones. Moving to some meme-like audio mods that should make you smile a little, due to how unexpected it is to hear something like that on Hoxes. By far the best one is Tyler 1 Grubber or Leech Screaming replacement. If you're randomly playing with other players, you can sometimes hear a distant scream in the other part of the cape. This is your teammate practically telling you they've got grabbed by a leech or something. Still, sometimes if you play barrel hoop game, this scream sound can be produced.
Get this shit off me! Get the data shit off me! Help! Get this shit off me! Get the data shit off me! Help!
As well as Tyler 1 dash sound replacement. Just listen to it. The next one is called Wineboom Laser Pointer Pin. There are two of them, but this one worked always. Season 4 memories, this mod once became sandbox. Out of no reason, lol. The next one is called Gear Sprinting Sound. It replaces running sound with more realistic ones. The next one is called Ferocious Plasma Carabine. It replaces sound of this weapon to a bit better one as for me. The next one is called Ferocious Bridge Cutter, and it makes that weapon sound a bit better as well. The next one is called Seismic Charge sound effect for coilgun, and this is by far the only must-have audio mod you can find. Just listen to this powerful shot. The next one is called the 7th Element Lure. This is just funny to have. The moment you forgot you have this mod on, during a random mission playing with a random angel who throws the lure, would make you look very surprised. Trust me.
Time for a light show!
The next two should be used separately. The first one is well-known sweaty hacker Huxi. This is a good one. The other one is a bit different due to swearing sound it makes, being a very angry from something. Just listen to it for a while.
Hack begun. It's noisy business and is attracting the bugs. Guard the hacking pod.
Вот я не понимаю этих дебилов, сука! Дебилы! Electronic workspace, блядь! Что это такое? Что это за хуйня? Хули, блядь, вы нам показали, я установлю! Сука, сгореть нахуй, если я ее установлю, блядь! Нахуй она мне надо, блядь!
The next one is called Bugatti Exit Audio for Huxi. This one replaces the takeoff sound Huxi pod makes.
That's it for the first power station. One more and we can take down the force field.
The next one is called Meme Sound for Mactera. This is funny enough to install it. The next one is called Hoverboots Perk, except you're afraid of heights. It will replace Hoverboots voice line with screaming. The next one is called Loudest and Longest Burp for Praetorian Spit. This replaces Praetorian's spitting sound to a continuous burp. The next one is called Depressed Barrels. It will make sounds by punching barrels. Pretty interesting. The last one is called Shard Boots for Jet Boots. It will replace jet boot sound to farting. I mean, now you know. I mean, this is the end so far. I think now you actually want to use Mint and try some mods that I have shown for a more interesting gameplay. Goodbye.